An Italian man opened fire on migrants in the central city of Macerata, injuring 6 people before he was captured. Police said it was a racially motivated attack. The shooter is 28-year-old and has had an Italian flag draped over his shoulders. The shooter also fired shots at the offices of the ruling center-left Democratic Party in Macerata, but did not injure anyone there. Prime Minister Paolo Gentiloni said that Italy would come down heavily on anyone promoting violence. Bolivia's Carnival kicked off on Saturday in the historic mining town of Oruro. The festival of the bands began the celebration. Dancers whirled through the town. This annual ceremony is recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and more than 6,000 musicians in 84 bands performed the 18 traditional carnival dances. Lasting over more than 20 hours, the parade brings together 25,000 dancers. U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson will attend a briefing on ecology and environmental issues in Argentine Patagonia. The briefing is believed is being held at a national park, and Argentina is the second leg of Tillerson's Latin America tour after visiting Mexico. He will continue on to Colombia, Peru, and Jamaica. A man suspected of selling armor-piercing bullets to the Las Vegas gunman who killed 58 people at a music festival was charged with conspiracy to manufacture and sell ammunition without a license. The October 1st massacre ranks as the deadliest mass shooting in the U.S. In addition to the 58 people killed by Stephen Paddock in Las Vegas massacre, nearly 500 people were injured, some by gunfire and others trampled or otherwise hurt while running for cover. Scientists at Egypt's Macerata University are restoring the fossils of a 80-million-year-old dinosaur which was discovered in Egypt's Sahara Desert oasis last week. The dinosaur's remains found at the Dakhla oasis in central Egypt are the most complete of any mainland African land vertebrate. A crowd of nearly 1,500 people comprised of Arab refugees and Germans carried pro-immigrant and anti-fascism placards and marched in Cottbus in Germany. The marchers said that they want to denounce attempts by far-right groups to stoke tension in the eastern city after 2 knife attacks by Syrian teenagers. Residents and members of far-right groups carrying anti-Islam banners held a counter-march through the city a few hours later to protest against what they say is rising crime by migrants. Last month, 2 Syrian teenagers injured a 16-year-old German boy with a knife, and a group of 3 Syrians aged under 17 threatened a German couple with a knife outside a mall in Cottbus. The air race season opener, which was held in Abu Dhabi, was won by an American pilot. Michelle Gaulion flew first in the final and set a blistering time of 53.695 seconds. Marine Sonka of the Czech Republic was second through the start gate, and the next race will be held in Cannes in France in April of this year. Several hundred Kurds and their supporters protested in Paris on Saturday against Turkey's military operation in the Afrin region of Syria. Turkey launched air and ground offensive nearly 2 weeks ago to target the Syrian Kurdish YPG militia in Afrin. French President Emmanuel Macron on Wednesday warned Turkey that the operation should not become an excuse to invade Syria. Several hundred people supporting the Russian Communist Party held in a rally in Moscow on Saturday for social fairness and civil liberties. Prominent Russian opposition activist and leader of Left Front movement, Sergei Udaltsov, released from jail last year, also joined the rally. Russia's Central Election Commission had registered Pavel Grudinin as the Russian Communist Party's candidate for the March 18 election. General elections will be held in Costa Rica today. A conservative Christian congressman, best known for his opposition to gay rights, remains the favorite in Costa Rica's presidential election. Electoral officers said that a second-round runoff is likely, as no candidate is expected to win at least 40% of the vote in the election. A runoff featuring the top 2 vote-getters would take place in early April. Israeli soldiers shot and killed a Palestinian teenager during an arrest raid in the village of Birkin in the occupied West Bank. About 200 Palestinians were throwing stones at Israeli military vehicles when a gunshot was heard. Israel's military said that its forces had been searching in Birkin for suspects involved in the fatal drive-by shooting of an Israeli rabbi. A military spokeswoman has said that rioting had broken out while troops were apprehensively several suspects connected with the shooting, and troops responded with non-fatal riot dispersal means. The Palestinian Health Ministry has said that the teenager killed on Saturday was 19 years old. Let's now move to some stories from India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address a massive BJP rally today to mark the conclusion of the party's 90-day campaign across poll-bound Karnataka. The date of the Karnataka Assembly election 2018 will be announced by mid-March. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj and Human Resource Development Minister Prakash Javadekar launched the book Exam Warriors, authored by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The book is a guide for children on dealing with exam-related stress. The book also advises teachers on helping students to deal with such anxiety. A 23-foot wide replica of the moon was unveiled at the Gateway of India in Mumbai for public viewing. The replica, using imagery from NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter camera and created with the UK Space Agency, is currently on a tour of India. The Museum of the Moon has been created by British artist Luke Jerram. The Museum of the Moon comes a year before the Golden Jubilee of the historic moon landing accomplished by astronauts Neil Armstrong and Edwin Aldrin. India's state of Punjab hosted the annual Rural Olympics. The sports festival, founded in 1933 and held in Kila Raipur, includes 40 to 50 events and is a blend of accepted sporting disciplines and other more unusual pursuits, like men lifting bricks with their teeth, pulling cars with their hair, performing handstands on glass bottles. Traditionally, the spectacle mainly appealed to local villagers, but enthusiasm for the games has now grown over the years and it draws crowds from across the country. A mob pelted stones at cops and vandalized public property in Kolkata city as 2 college students died after being mowed down by a bus that jumped the traffic light. The incident happened in Chingri Ghata area, where heavy police force was deployed after the angry mob torched the bus. Locals complained that usually there are no traffic cops at the accident site, which often gives irresponsible drivers a free hand to jump the traffic signal.